This is cyclical. So we see this a lot. And don't get me wrong on this, because I have a lot of empathy realistically for the folks that are losing their jobs because of the volatility, specifically in the tech market right now. There's a lot of displaced people. But this type of ramp up and rapid expansion that happens in tech firms and then turns into a very fast recession fear and layoffs is something we've gone through a lot. The first big one was the dot-com bust, right? I mean, for those that were around during that period, it was something like a 50% layoff across the board. And there was a lot of people looking for jobs. We saw it again in 2004. We saw it again in 2008 when the housing market went. It hit again in 2014. And it's something that happens over and over again. But I think it's just the model of technology-based organizations to do this. They find a niche, they find a growth area, and we see some really rapid explosions of growth at the 20 to 40% year-over-year growth rates for these companies. So they hire fast. Because when you're growing that fast, you don't necessarily have time to do it organically or do it right, like we always try to say, right? You got to throw bodies at it, get it done, grow fast. But then when a contraction happens or you get into these points where the economy looks like it's going to start hitting us hard, layoffs happen. Now, hopefully it won't be super extreme this time around. Doesn't look like it's going to be yet, but I think the way we have to look at this is more of an opportunity for those folks that are getting laid off to find new homes and to go into that new rush of growth that we know is coming around the corner.
Yeah, circle of life came to my mind too, Jeremy. I think that's like the first thing you said. There's definitely a cycle. I do get concerned at times about innovation getting kind of stifled in the larger houses that are out. I joke, I feel like someday we're all going to work for the same company. There's just one giant cloud thing that we work for. But, I give credit. There's a lot of energy and a lot of good stuff about how they try to drive innovation. Is dire, maybe as I think in my mind, that's where a lot of the leadership and innovation is coming from. But for those people that Jeremy just mentioned, it's like, yeah, start small, find something unique, new, and maybe that's what'll drive innovation going forward. I hope so. I think that's a good cauldron for creating things.
If we look at history too, at each of those points that I kind of comment on, right, is every time there's been a downturn, one of the things that usually happens right after is this burst of startup companies. And that innovation, I think, tends to get focused into those startups. And we end up seeing 3 to 5 years later, those are the companies that are the fastest growing or the fastest adopted companies. It's not ideal that these layoffs happen, but I'm hopeful that we're going to see the same kind of thing, that real quick explosive growth that's going to happen right afterward.